You run so much that you forgot where you're going. Is financial success worth your mental health? Byung-Chul Han. You run so much you've forgotten where you're going. Your life has become a spreadsheet of goals. Another course, another side hustle, another sleepless night, where the body screams and the mind implodes. Is financial success worth your mental health? You find yourself exhausted, collecting degrees but losing yourself, achieving milestones but feeling a void. The Burnout Generation, an army of the drained, swallowed by the promise that money would bring freedom, but it only brought more chains, more pressure, more the anxiety of never being enough. Yuval Harari reminds us, we are driven by narratives, the narrative of prosperity at any cost, of endless competition. You bought this story, and now it consumes you. The rat race, where no one wins, they just exhaust themselves. Your wallet might be full, but your soul is empty, and with each new material achievement, the fatigue only grows. The pain of not reaching unrealistic standards, the guilt of not being the ideal version society demands. This video isn't about productivity strategies. It's about the brutality of the system that traps you, about the invisible cost of your exhaustion. Are you ready to face the truth? To question the altar of success that burns you out? This exhaustion isn't accidental. It's a perverse programming, injected into the veins of society. From an early age, the pressure to be the best, to have the best career, the best salary. Your parents perhaps pushed you. School taught you to compete. Media sold you the illusion that financial success is the only metric of worth. You internalized, I am only loved if I produce, if I have. The system molded you for infinite performance, for the relentless pursuit of more, to never feel satisfied. Byung-Chul Han describes the exhaustion society, where the exploiter is yourself. You whip yourself, run, to achieve unrealistic standards, to flee the fear of not being enough. With every hour of overtime, every bill paid, you reinforce the belief, you must exhaust yourself to deserve. This is your inheritance, not an asset, but a debt of exhaustion, a trauma of performance, programmed to keep you on the treadmill, even when it leads to collapse. The financial freedom they promised you? It became your new prison. You work to have, and you need to have more to justify the work, an endless cycle, where the anxiety of not reaching the imposed standards consumes you. Generation Z in particular lives this viscerally, the trap of constant comparison, the illusion that the perfect life is just a matter of more effort, but effort without purpose is torture. It's emptiness disguised as success. It's your mental health being auctioned off in the performance market, and you are paying the price. With your body, with your mind, with your soul. If this financial pain has visited you, comment below. Your packed schedule, your endless to-do list. They aren't signs of productivity. They are symptoms of your shadow. The fear of not being good enough. The shame of not making it. The dread of being seen as a failure. All of this manifests in your insane race. Jung warned, what you deny in yourself becomes your hell. Your exhaustion is that hell, the archetype of the burned-out performer. He wears the mask of success, the image of the tireless. But inside there's a screaming void, a wounded child seeking validation through inhumane effort, the repression of deep fears, fear of stopping, fear of looking inward, fear of discovering that financial freedom is just another prison. The shadow feeds on this, on your fatigue, on your relentless pursuit of external approval. The identity crisis is visceral. One part of you yearns for peace, for a life with real purpose. Another part, the shadow, pulls you back, to exhaustion, to competition, to what Byung-Chul Han would call the performance society, where you are your own taskmaster, and you feel exposed if you're not always on top. Your mind screams for more, because the silence of rest is terrifying. It would reveal the true cost, the cost of your exhausted soul, indebted in mental health. Fragmentation is the price of not facing the shadow, of not accepting your humanity, your finitude. This is your prison, a cycle of performance and collapse, fueled by the shadow, relentlessly. If this section about your consumption made sense to you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. You're exhausted, your mind on fire, your body begging for rest. And the solution? Another purchase, another course, another investment in yourself. It's the vicious cycle of toxic self-care, the perfect dopamine trap, an instant relief from the pain of exhaustion, the illusion that by having more you'll find peace. This is the false freedom of consuming, of accumulating, but never of being. Gabor Mate was unyielding. Unresolved trauma seeks relief in compulsion. Your wallet is the map of your open wounds. Every expense made in exhaustion. Every installment for a deserved item. It's a desperate attempt to fill what only true connection to your purpose can heal. The market is an insatiable predator. It doesn't just sell products, it sells escape from your burnout. The promise that the next acquisition will bring rest, the validation you so desperately seek. But it only delivers more bills, more guilt, another vicious cycle of emptiness. Financial freedom became your new prison. The perfect lifestyle that forces you to work more, to go further into debt, to burn your soul faster. You've become an obedient consumer, a rat on the consumption wheel, constantly buying to silence the internal alarm. The critique is brutal. You're not seeking happiness. You're buying false peace, a temporary anesthesia for burnout. Consumption has become your existential escape, the race to always have more, the obsession to show the world that you won. But the mirror doesn't lie. It reflects an exhausted soul, indebted. And the new item? Just another silent reminder of the void that persists, of the fatigue that possessions can't cure. The exhaustion society sells you the poison, and you consume it believing it's the cure. Pause this video and write down this sentence. It could become a rupture with debt. You felt it. The bitterness of exhaustion, the futility of the endless race. This is your consciousness, waking up to the brutal truth. Money doesn't buy peace. Imposed success steals your soul. The way out isn't more effort. It's a dive inward, to question what you truly want. There's no magic formula, no shallow productivity tips here. There is presence, the courage to stop, to feel the fatigue, to face your performance trauma. Gabor Mate was clear. Unresolved trauma seeks expression. Your exhaustion is that expression. Money isn't the problem. It's the thermometer. It measures where you're wounded, where the need for external validation screams loudest, where the fear of not being enough consumes you. Jordan Peterson would speak of the need to find order in the chaos of your burnout. But this order doesn't come from a packed schedule. It comes from your soul. Reconstruction begins with ruthless acceptance. Stop hiding behind goals. Look at your life. Not with guilt, but with curiosity. What were you trying to prove? To whom? What void were you trying to fill with this race? It's not about earning more. It's about being more authentic, more present, more free. Thomas Sowell and Ramit Sethi, each in their own way, would point to the importance of conscious decisions, not reactive ones, of aligning your financial actions with your life's purpose, not with the cycle of exhaustion. Money can be an instrument of freedom, of purpose, of real impact, but only after you free yourself from the prison of the illusory rat race, that impulse that leaves you poor in time and spirit. Financial authenticity isn't about possessions, it's about being. It's about finding wholeness within yourself, not in metrics of success. It's about true freedom, the kind no career can steal. Do you also feel this spending compulsion? Write in the comments. You've reached your limit. That point where forced success tastes bland, where exhaustion has become your only companion, where the race leads nowhere. There's nowhere left to run. Nothing left to prove. The truth is this: financial freedom became your new prison. Financial freedom became your new prison. Your body screams, your soul begs. Morgan Housel, in his Psychology of Money, understood that emotions dictate more than logic. It's time to confront the emotion that traps you, the relentless pursuit of validation. The belief that you need to burn your life to win, and replace it with the peace of your own presence. You don't need to buy your worth, you already have it. And that is the most brutal wealth, the most misunderstood, the freest. Feel the weight of burnout, the regret of lost time, and transform it into fury to change, to no longer define yourself by what you produce, but by what you are. May this silence call you to your true freedom, to a life where success doesn't destroy you. Money doesn't buy the peace your soul needs. If you feel trapped in the race, comment, "I stop now." Leave in the comments. Financial programming ends with me. Share this video with anyone still living on consumption autopilot. Subscribe if you want to keep breaking financial cycles with me.